Hi everyone, my name is Melanie and I'll be presenting on the Sinaloa cartel. A little bit about the background. It was founded in the 1980s by Joaquin Guzman Loera, also known as El Chapo. It is the oldest and most established drug trafficking organization in Mexico. It is the most powerful drug trafficking syndicate in the Western Hemisphere. This organization controls 40 to 60% of Mexico's drug trade, and it is very lucrative. It earns approximately $3 billion in profits each year. This organization is important to research because the DEA considers it the greatest crime threat to the US and also the greatest drug trafficking influence. This organization also poses a security threat to the US and Mexico significantly. A little bit about its international footprint. It is estimated to be present in 50 countries, including Canada, Argentina, Colombia, and Ecuador, and it operates in 17 Mexican states. The Sinaloa cartel, in comparison to its rival states, is on a much larger scale, meaning that it is present in much more countries than the rest. This organization is responsible for exporting and distributing meth, marijuana, cocaine, heroin, and fentanyl in the US. And some of the places that it can be found in the US are Phoenix, Los Angeles, Chicago, as well as New York. Not only is it involved in drug trafficking, but also arms trafficking and bulk cash smuggling. The map was provided by the DEA in its 2016 National Drug Threat Assessment. Down here we see a key, and here Sinaloa is highlighted in orange. This means that majority of the US does see Sinaloa cartel presence, with the exception of New Mexico down here and Texas as well, which see Juarez cartel and Gulf cartel. The darker orange means that there is a bigger presence as opposed to over here where there is the lighter orange. However, nonetheless, the Sinaloa cartel has a big presence in the US in general. Regarding the criminal mobility of this organization, it uses submarines, airplanes, trains, tunnels, people, horses, drones, different methods to be able to transport their drugs. It usually is smuggled in through Mexico's borders with California, Arizona, New Mexico, and West Texas. However, what is interesting is that not only do they use illegal methods, but they also use legal ports of entry, and they hide drugs within cars, trucks, buses, whatever they need to do in order to smuggle their drugs in. These pictures just show one of the tunnels that is said to be connected to the Sinaloa cartel. The first picture is the entrance on the side of Mexico, the middle is San Diego, California, and the third one just shows the marijuana that was seized within the tunnel. This map is interesting because it is based on testimony from a former Sinaloa worker, and so it shows the trafficking routes for the drugs in the US. So it begins down here in Mexico. From there, it can either go to Los Angeles. Los Angeles, it goes to Chicago, which is then distributed to all these other places along over here on the East Coast, or it can go back to Vancouver or back to Los Angeles. If it doesn't go to Los Angeles, it can go to Chicago. From Chicago, go straight to the East Coast over here, and then it can go to Vancouver, or it can go to Los Angeles. But we see that it is a cycle. So regardless, it'll still go to the same places. And that is very interesting to me. I'm sure that there's other routes that can be taken. However, this is the one that was displayed, and it comes from someone that used to work with the Sinaloa cartel. Some of the conclusions that I came up with include that the Sinaloa cartel continues to operate in the present day, regardless of the fact that its leader, El Chapo, is in prison and serving a life sentence here in the US. This organization operates like a business. It is large, sophisticated, and it has assigned roles within the organization. For example, there are the people that produce and process the drugs, there are those that package it, and there are those that distribute it and sell it to others. The war on drugs began decades ago, and however, it is still going on. The illegal drug use has not stopped, and the smuggling of drugs into the US has not stopped either. One of the limitations that I found was that the information provided from the DA was from 2016. It would have been interesting to see anything that had been more updated. However, that has yet to come, but that was one of the limitations that I found within my research. Thank you.